In the fourth paragraph and final paragraph, I write, "Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jack, and today's video is going to be about me reading my personal statement. Obviously, it's called a personal statement because it is personal. There'd be no use to you to copy anything in my personal statement. What I plan to give you is the structure, so how I set it up, how each paragraph goes into the other one, and general tips and tricks on how to write a perfect personal statement that will get you into your dental school of choice. So let's begin. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna read my personal statement paragraph by paragraph. There's 4 paragraphs, and then after each paragraph, I'm gonna do a little breakdown of what I was thinking when I was writing the paragraph and what points I wanted to hit on that would really stand out to the admissions committee. So, first paragraph. I could never keep still as a child, and I'm told I even learned how to run before I could walk. When I was 8 years old, I wanted to play the violin and started taking lessons. The musical instrument gave me joy in the way I could use my fingers and hands to modify pitches with differing speeds, pressure, and movement techniques. Mastering a piece after weeks of preparation and performing it in front of my parents at a showcase or in front of a professional judge gave me the most gratification. Fast forwarding to high school, my most memorable classes were construction and photography. I would often spend part of my lunchtime to polish my projects. It was incredible how I could make wooden rolling ducks or a smooth polar bear piggy bank by using different tools and varnish techniques. I would often give the final products as gifts and be rewarded with big smiles. It was also then that I developed a new passion for photography. I loved manipulating angles and symmetry to create a beautiful final product. At my little sister's tennis tournament a few years later, I snapped an action shot of her opponent. After editing, I printed out into a large acrylic casing and presented it to her opponent's parents at the next tournament. I was rewarded with their gratitude, smiles, and later a heartfelt card. It was this same summer after my first year of college that I discovered I could use my tactile skills and artistic eye in the field of dentistry. So that was the first paragraph. What I want to touch on here is, first, I think the whole essay is just you trying to relate things and events that have happened in your life and how it can relate to dentistry, and then also say it in an eloquent way. So the first point I have here is I focus this paragraph on tactile skills and artistic vision. I want to do that because in dentistry, one, the artistic vision part, your patient wants to see an improvement in their teeth, either in function or appearance, right? And appearance is a big part of why people go to the dentist. And of course, tactile skills, because the degree you're getting is most probably going to be Doctor of Dental Surgery, which means you're going to have to be doing surgeries as a dentist. I didn't know if you knew that, now you do. Which will require a lot of fine motor skills, which is why I touched on that. One line I said, the musical instrument gave me joy in the way I could use my fingers and hands to modify pitches with differing sounds, pressure, and movement techniques. Here I'm trying to relate violin to how it applies to dentistry. So I use differing speeds, pressure, and movement techniques on purpose because those are all things that a dentist must have in their toolbox. I also said I would often give the final products as gifts and be rewarded with big smiles. This shows that I am a generous person. I like giving gifts. I like giving back, which is all good things about your doctor. I also said I would spend part of my lunchtime to polish my projects. Here I'm talking about how I'll go the extra distance, that I'll put in more work. I'm hardworking. I put in the extra time if I need to create the product that I want. Another thing I said was, after editing, I printed it into a large acrylic casing and presented it to her opponent's parents at the next tournament. This was talking about the picture that I took for my sister's opponent. I put this line in mainly to show that I can go above and beyond. I can be extra sometimes in positive ways. And then finally, to tie it all together, my last line was, it was this same summer after my first year of college I discovered I could use my tactile skills and an artistic eye in the field of dentistry. So it's just a summary of the two main points I wanted to portray in the first paragraph, and then finally relating it back to dentistry at the end. So let's move on to the second paragraph now. For as long as I can remember, I wanted to go into the health professions, but had trouble deciding on which field to pursue. I started my journey by volunteering at St. Vincent's Hospital in the ER department. Although I enjoyed the hospitality aspect, I was not ecstatic about the hectic atmosphere and the stress of treating patients in life and death situations. The summer after my first year of college, I shadowed an optometrist and a periodontist. Although I enjoyed the human interaction of both professions, optometry was not stimulating enough for me. I knew I would be more satisfied working in a profession that required more use of my hands. The periodontist, on the other hand, gave me the opposite experience. The level of precision and mastery I noticed while observing Dr. Dreyer's hand skills reminded me of when I was watching the Broadway show Phantom of the Opera. Not only did it feel like I was given the opportunity to watch a top performer, but his manual dexterity also inspired me. Another noteworthy experience was Dr. Spring. An elderly patient entered the dentist's office in a nervous and uncomfortable state. The combination of a calm, clear voice, controlling his vocal tonality, and with a gentle hand on the shoulder put the patient at ease. The kind of gentle professionalism Dr. Spring presented with all his patients inspired me to act in the same caring way. Breakdown. So my second paragraph is all about narrowing down in the healthcare profession what specifically to choose, and also the specific events that occurred during the process of my decision to choose dentistry. So I said, although I enjoyed the hospitality aspect, I was not ecstatic about the hectic atmosphere and the stress of treating patients in life and death situations. Completely valid reason. With dentistry, that's not gonna be a problem, so sounds good there. I also said I knew I would be more satisfied working in a profession that required more use of my hands. So opposite side of the spectrum, I'm looking into optometry now, and it's not enough for me, and I feel like my talents of my tactile skills would be going to waste if I chose optometry. Then I threw something in there about Phantom of the Opera. I watched it recently, loved the show. It was my first Broadway show, and I guess it was there for some flair. And then I also said the combination of a calm, clear voice, controlling his vocal tonality, and with a gentle hand on the shoulder put the patient at ease. The kind of gentle professionalism Dr. Spring presented with all his patients inspired me to act in the same caring way. I put this paragraph in because I'm showing more of a personal side of me right now, the type of dentist that I'm trying to become. And they're all positive traits, and traits that you would want in a doctor. Moving on to the third paragraph, I said, the main challenge I faced in college was the double-edged sword of the freedom it provided me. I struggled initially with becoming independent, managing my time, and prioritizing my activities. I knew that in order to pursue my passion for dentistry, I needed to prioritize classes more. Halfway through the sophomore semester, I decided to make changes in order to obtain better results. This included not partying as much. My organic chemistry professor helped me immensely by giving me a blueprint on how to study efficiently for his class. By reviewing new class material before class and consistently blocking out a few hours every day where I would limit myself to only focusing on organic chemistry, I formed new study habits and time management skills that have since served me well. Consequently, I was rewarded with a higher GPA every semester thereafter while taking higher level classes and catching up on what I didn't learn my first year. So this third paragraph was pretty much about how I was able to adapt to achieve my goals and the specific events that happened that led me to adapt positively in this way. I said that my organic chemistry professor helped me immensely by giving me a blueprint on how to study efficiently for this class. That's just an example of a specific example because it was honestly in that class, the professor, had you do a bunch of readings before and homework before the class that you were, like the material you're gonna go over, you already did a homework assignment for that material that you haven't even learned, so you have to do a lot of research prior. It worked. Okay, so after a quick break, because my camera ran out of battery, we're back. As I was saying, I was talking about the main challenge I faced in college was the double-edged sword of the freedom it provided me. I struggled initially with becoming independent, managing my time, and prioritizing my activities. So this was at the beginning of the paragraph. I wanted to present a problem that I have here, so then I can go into how I worked it through and then found a solution. In the fourth and final paragraph, I write, after the culmination of my experiences, I now know that dentistry will satisfy the hyperactive kid inside of me by allowing me to incorporate my hand skills and passion for creating beautiful final products while satisfying my desire to serve others. Additionally, I'm confident that I have the skills I need in order to excel throughout dental school and triumph over any adversities I come across. Ultimately, my dream is to one day work with a team to provide effective and incredible dental care to as many people as possible. Thank you for taking the time to read my personal statement and for considering me as an applicant. So for the final paragraph, there was a callback to satisfying the hyperactive kid inside of me. This was recalling back from I could never keep still as a child, and I'm told I even learned how to run before I could walk. That was the very first sentence of my personal statement. It's kind of like a way to summarize the whole story. Another tip is to summarize your entire statement in the final paragraph, and also be confident, present confidence, show that you're confident you will succeed based off the examples you had. Also that you know that dentistry is definitely the career that you want and need to go into. I also said thank you for taking the time to read my personal statement and for considering me as an applicant. Some people advised me not to do this. However, I feel like this line just fit my personality, and I do want to thank them because they have a hard job and stressful job and very important job in choosing who gets into all of these dental schools. So I wanted to add it in anyways. So that's pretty much it. That was my personal statement and the breakdown of why I wrote it the way I did. If you have any questions about the personal statement or any questions in general about dentistry or my life or anything, please throw them down into the comment section below. Also, if you like this video or if I added value in any way, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you to everyone that watched, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Thanks.